Hello and welcome to the Better Business Podcast. My name is Alexei, and today I wanted to talk about the importance of books and educating yourself as a business owner, not only to obviously stay ahead of the game, but also to keep yourself motivated and inspired. But before I jump into this episode, I wanted to get some feedback from you guys. I record this podcast typically throughout the week to launch them on a Monday afternoon, typically around 5 p.m. For your drive home. However, if you think that I should be doing this at a different time, or you think that, you listen to my podcast typically in the mornings and you'd want a different time, let me know. I'd love to get your feedback on this and see how I could potentially optimize my podcast and deliver it at the right time as well. If there's any topics that you are thinking that I could be including or you're interested in, please let me know by commenting below or email me directly. I would definitely love to get your feedback and go through this. Anyway, today's episode is all about books and the importance of reading. And look, for a lot of business owners, that's probably one thing that doesn't happen enough. In professional services, you're sort of expected to do a lot of that sort of stuff. However, when it comes to things like the trades in particular, you really don't get a chance to do much when it comes to reading, purely because you're busy and you're really being stretched out across way too many things. Anyway, you may have come across books like this one, Start With Why. I find that's quite a fundamental book. And, a lot of the time, it is very important to revisit your why and understand exactly, why you do things. Why do people buy? Why do people sell? And overall, it gives you that sort of meaningful start. And I think, books like that are a must read, because they sort of activate other parts of your brain and help you understand what else could be done better. The classic E-myth, a lot of people get into business only to realize that they've transitioned from a job and now they absolutely hate doing everything else that comes with running a business, the accounting, the selling. All they want to do is, bake cakes, if we sort of refer to this. And I think, like books like that really describe the depth of, people's frustrations and potentially way out of certain problems as well. And I think, most small businesses and especially startups really need to read this book sooner rather than later. Otherwise, it may be too late. I find that books like Atomic Habits by James Clear are absolutely fundamental if you're into goal setting and you wonder, why is it that my goals aren't really, happening? Why am I not reaching my goals? Why am I failing at my goals? And he really goes through all these small bits that really help you understand as to how you could potentially achieve your goals by changing habits and make them easier and pleasant. Absolutely awesome. I have come across a couple of books just this year as well. And this is the one that I absolutely recommend. And thanks, Shane, for recommending on Facebook. The Frictionless Organization has been an eye-opener. I think this is where you look at a company from that growth perspective. There's a lot of points of friction that really prevent it from growing or scaling. And oftentimes it's simple processes that basically help the scalability of the business when it comes to online stores or potentially some large organizations and they're scaling. So really a great book that talks about the whole customer service and the deliverability of a product or a service. So that's a great one as well. This is another one that Shane's recommended. And this is going to be my next read, the Sales Acceleration Formula. Always want to read more on sales and absolutely love anything to do with sales, because if you look at sales plainly, it's really more about persuasion and getting the point across, whether you're selling a service or whether you're trying to convince your friends to, go fishing with you and so on. It's a sales process. And sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not, but, there's a lot of science behind the whole thing. Limitless by Jim Quick. And Jim Quick is one of those guys that you absolutely must check out on YouTube. He's got a lot of stuff on memory and focus and being better at what you basically do through things like speed reading and so on. And he's got quite a story, and I won't do a spoiler alert in case you haven't gone through that. But that's an absolutely awesome book. So you're probably wondering, hey, Alexei, when do you find the time to read all those books? Well, what I actually do is I listen to a lot of stuff on Audible. And Audible is this online platform that allows you to, download audiobooks. And oftentimes they're narrated by the actual author themselves. And what I do afterwards is actually I buy the book, and often I do it at the same time. And then I reread some points that basically make an impact, because sometimes you got to really process it. So that works really, really well. I guess my only trick and advice for you guys, if you are into Audible, try to increase the speed. I've increased my speed from 1 to 1.3. And to be honest, that hasn't really impacted the quality of the book itself. In fact, I started listening to books 30% faster. I know some friends of mine go through 1.5, some actually do 2. And the trick is you really have to be in a quiet environment. So if you got like a noise canceling headphones or something, or if you're driving the car by yourself, that could potentially work. Otherwise, in comparison to all the other sound and noise around you, that may feel a bit funny as well. Now, I think, with the books, ideas are great, practicality are great, inspiration, motivation are great. I think, helping you connect over a book with a business owner or potentially another person is also a great way to start an intelligent conversation. I think a lot of people don't think of that. And oftentimes having something like that really aligns you with the right person in terms of values and the, thought processes, if you like. I think that, from my perspective, I have changed my habits to listen to an audiobook book on the way to work, or a podcast sometimes. And on the way back, I prefer to listen to music. So for me, that makes things very easy. I find it's very difficult to listen to an audiobook on the way home after you've been sort of processing this stuff all day long. However, yeah, everyone's different. And I guess it all really depends on your environment. Now, authority marketing, that's probably the one thing I want to talk about as well. And, I get some books from authors and stuff. And I guess my thing is, I like to get my books signed. So, for example, this Influential Marketer by Steve Plummer. And Steve, if you're listening, hi. I get people to sign the books for me. So I actually collect books that are signed by the authors. And this really helps me build a collection, first of all, but then also really get to know people personally as well. Just this one I got yesterday, The Digital Brand Romance. And I think that, hey, Alexei, relationships are everything. Enjoy, Anna. Thanks, Anna. I think books are, it's a business card on steroids. If anything, it has a lot more of a powerful message in comparison to a business card, but also this stands apart from anything else. Now, a number of weeks ago now, we've recorded a podcast with Andrew Carter, who runs Global Publishing Group, and he's got a system where they basically have got a bestseller book program that basically gets business owners a best-selling book, and that works really, really well to get them into all sorts of free publicity and on the news and so on. But I do find the concept quite fascinating, and often a lot easier than a lot of people think. And in fact, you guys may know already that I'm actually working on my book as well, which is called Better Business That Works. Now, I won't do any spoiler alerts because it's with the publishers right now. There's still a few extra things that I got to put in there, but hopefully I'll be able to get that out quite soon. Finally, Tax Secrets of the Rich. Now, this book I got just recently, and there's a signature there as well from Alan Mason. For those of you who don't know, this is Kerry Packer's former accountant. And in fact, I've built a bit of a relationship with Alan. He's speaking at my Lunch and Learn event on Friday. And for those of you listening, I basically run Lunch and Learn events once a month where I invite business owners, and, we catch up over lunch, and I get people like Alan to present on various things. We've had presentations of things like superannuation, AI, and so on and so on. I think it's a great way to sort of build an audience and also connect to a lot of people as well. And obviously, if you can do that over lunch, hey, that works really well. I think there was a concept somewhere about never having lunch alone. So there you go. Anyway, guys, I hope I've given you some tips in relation to books, and I guess how to structure your habits around books and getting that good content. If you're looking for recommendations, hit me up below. I'd be more than happy to put some things up in the description of this podcast. However, I think it's really a matter of finding, what resonates with the problems that you're experiencing, and whether it's sales, whether it's growth, whether it's team leadership, and so on. There's a ton of people. I do think, however, that there are some, really simple key books that can really get you aligned with the problem that you're facing and help you realize what the solution could be from completely another perspective. This is where the whole start with why really comes in. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I try to keep it fairly simple and short. And yeah, please subscribe to my channel and make sure you tell your friends about this sort of stuff. And if there's anything else that you guys think I could add to my podcast or I could change, please share with me. I'd love your feedback.